This is Nathan Stanford Sr. Welcome back. This is the third episode we're going to work on. I remember I had this page here bookmarked, but I'm not wanting to follow it, although I will still use it for some guidance. Instead, I had worked on that WebSim AI the other day. One of the days I created this, and I actually like this better, although some of it's kind of hidden. The text is kind of hidden, but I kind of like this layout a little better. I would like it to be full screen. The full screen portion is me, just the way I like things. So if we make this, pull this down, and we make this smaller, you can see things change. We can adjust things. I'm not perfect at doing mobile first because most of the places I've worked, we've done PC first. So I will do my best to try to make it work with the mobile. Using Bootstrap, it usually will, as long as you put in the right things. And if you have suggestions as things that I'm doing that can be done differently so that they could be more mobile first, that's fine. And I just saw this here footer is not in the center, and I'm wanting it to be in the center, I think. I don't need the SVG, and align items in the center. Let's see how that did now that I got rid of that. It's on the left. Let's just simply text center. This is the span, so we just say text center, I believe. Whoops, center, and hit refresh. What is it? Text, or is it? Maybe it's maybe it's right here. I thought for sure you could even get away with saying text center. Let's just do a line center for now and see. Refresh. Nope. Let's go back to text center. So we will say text center. I'm going to take that out since that's not doing it. Refresh. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing wrong right now, and it's not important to the whole project. The footer I could totally rearrange, and it wouldn't matter too much anyway. So if you have suggestions on how I can make the footer better, we'll say CF form, and this year's 2024. So let's close the footer. Let's actually close all of this for a second, and then we'll go back. So what we want to do is try to build something kind of like this one. So I'm going to do, even though I already started down the other path, there's a way you can download this, and you can use it as your starter. So let's go ahead. So we'll go to ColdFusion 2023. CFusion, and go down here to www.root. Then we'll go to CF form, and you can see in here when we go to, I'm going to leave it as HTML. We'll move the code over HTML because it would overwrite the CFM. But let's simply now go in here and we see here's the HTML. So if we simply went here and change this to HTML. In fact, you know what? Even though I normally like it full screen, I'm going to stick with this. Let's see what happens when I make it smaller. Let's see if I like what it does. Yes, I like it, so it's good. So we're going to start using that as our starting code. So what I want to do is we're going to do like I did before. We're going to take the nav bar portion all the way down to here. And we're going to go here. We're going to select all, paste the nav bar in. Then we're going to take from, let's see here, this div. Let's actually start by moving this header part up here, this top part. We'll add more to, we might add, or at least I think we might add more to the header in just a minute. So do that. and now that's there. And we'll come down here to the footer. We will take all of the footer and we will put that inside of the footer, and then we will take, let's see here, these are going to be separate components, separate little chunks of stuff on the screen. So what I'm going to do is simply leave the nav bar and the header like it is for this second, paste this in, and let's go see how messed up I made it, or if it looks fine. Not there, right here. So we'll go back to CFM. Did it reload? And yes, it reloaded. So we actually have that example that we can use to start with. So if you want, you can go get your own, because what we're doing is we're going to use HTMX and ColdFusion together. So what you can do, now what I did when I built this, I built these forms. This is where I'm going to put administration of everything. It's where I'm going to put any CFCs, the config file. I think I may have talked about these, but partials is what I'm thinking of for these separate little bits. A bigger portion might be a view or a whole page for pages. I don't even know if I'll need any pages for what I'm doing. So let's go up here and let's start here at the top. We got the container. Let's select all. Let's move this over a little. I Shift tab to move it over a little. I don't like the fact it's 4 spaces, but that's me. I probably will end up fixing that at some point. But let's see here. So in here, we've got this row. What all is in this row? Here's a card. Let's actually separate out the cards. So there's the title, but here's a card. So if I click here, oh, I don't know, I probably did show, but if I didn't show, if you go in here to this, what's installed, and you go to Block Man, I think it is. Yeah, Block Man. That's what's putting this little orange line. Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna, by doing this, you can actually see where the div starts. Scroll down. You can find where the div ends. So now we know where this card starts and where this card ends. I can click here. I can hit Shift and click here. Cut. And now I've cut that card. Card 1. And then I can simply go over here. And in these partials, I can say card 1. Paste it in here, select all, tab it over, and let's actually tab it over more than it needs to be. It will still work, but if you want to, then you can come back and say, okay, tab, double tab. I know, I probably shouldn't be doing it, shouldn't be worrying about it, but that's just me. So let's see here. I just realized I had turned my timer off earlier, so hopefully I don't make this 30 minutes. I'm trying to stick with 15 minutes for everybody. Here, let's do this. The line wrap was on, so it made it hard to see what I should be doing. So that's lined up there, that's there, put that there. And then line item there and unordered line item there. Okay, so let's save that. Now let's make the other, let's get out the other cards. So I'm going to copy this card 1. The next card, oh wait, card. I meant to take all of the card. So let's copy that. And what we will do is we'll copy that and go back to card 1. And we will put the card at the top. We will cut that, paste this down here, highlight, tab over. Okay, card 1's done. Let's go back. So now we want card 2. So I'm going to copy, paste, and then this one's going to be card 2. So if I go like this, I need to remember I need to get the div on the outside. So I actually need to start there and go all the way up to here. And then we're going to go in partials. And we're going to create card2.cfm. I'm going to paste it in. Select all. I'm going to go ahead and tab it all the way over. And I'm going to tab over one more. We can fix this card later. I don't feel like continuing to do that. So that's card 2. So we got card 3 coming up. So let's go ahead and create card 3. Card 3 CFM. Let's go back here to index and let's say, okay, we want to get the full body of the card. This is the first row. This is the form statistics. That's that stuff. So we've got card 1, card 2. Now we're going to do 3, 4, and 5 cards. So if we come back here, we can actually, let's copy paste, and then we'll come right here. And we will say 3, 4, 5. So we're going to say we want to copy this card, and we want to move it to, let's see here, we want to get that, and we want to say, oh, I did create 3, paste, select all, and I'm going to move tab all this over. In fact, you know what, I forgot. Control-Shift-P, and I can say format, prettier. It still didn't do it. Oh, there it goes. It just took it a bit. Turn off line wrap. There you go. So that would save you a lot of time. Remember, I didn't do this one. It's still highlighted. I can do Control-Shift-P, and then I can pick on Prettier, which is a plugin, an extension you can add. And so now it's got that there. So let's go and create 4 and 5, card 4 and 5, card, CFM, whoops, 4, CFM. Now you can name these whatever you want. Card 5.cfm. And let's go back to our index.cfm, and we're going to get the next ones. So you see here's the beginning of the body. We can come down here and see, okay, so that's the end. We want to copy this whole thing, and we want to put it in 4. Paste. Select all. In fact, let's just do Control-Shift-P. Prettier. Awesome. Saves us time. So now let's go back to index, and we're going to get the last card, which is this one. Comes down here, which means we need to go to there to be able to get the whole thing. Cut it and put it in 5. So paste, select all, Control-Shift-P, prettier. So it's got it all formatted. Now all we've got to do, let's close this HTML because we're not actually messing with that now. Notice how little bit of code we have in here. You kind of get an idea how things are laid out. Looking at it, it's nicer, it's cleaner, it's neater. You've got the header, the footer. Well, we're going to do something similar to the header and the footer for the card. We're going to say, okay, we want to do an include, but what we're going to do is, if we're starting from this index page for this particular page, you want to do the slash, and then you want to go to partials / card1. So then what I'm saying, you do 2 copies there, 1, 2, 3 there, and you say card 2. You say 3, 4, 5. Whoops, and I did it too fast. 5. Then you can get rid of the comments. And now, cross your fingers, we go back to here and we simply hit refresh. And the only thing we've got is some places I put a semicolon by accident, obviously. Okay, it's not here. Let's go look at card. Not really sure where I put that here. Let's just do this. Control find, semicolon. Let's go back here. Find. Not sure what I did. Card 4, is it here maybe? Not seeing where it's highlighted. It does say there is one in here. Oh, it's at the very... Well, that'll be easy to find. I don't know. I must have bumped the keyboard on some of these. Delete that. And delete that. And let's check. This one's got it as well. I did really good at that. I don't know if maybe something in the prettier I did, maybe. Let's just go hit refresh and see how close it is. Oh, and I want to turn debug off for now so I can see the page as it looks. Even though I don't like the fact you can't see it over there, we'll fix that. Let's go to the header, includes header, and go all the way to the top. And we will, let's first do Control P, prettier. Okay, it didn't do it. That's fine. We can fix it ourselves if we really want to. Oh, and the base URL, that's not going to be accurate, so we're getting rid of that. CF setting, show debug output, false or no, both work. And we can move this here, move this to a CSS file, which we already have created back when we first started. So we can see in here we have a CSS file, so we move that there. And now that's ready to go. All we've got to do now is inside of the header, which we still have open, we can get rid of this word style. And I want to add style. So let's see here. You want to do not style, but link. Actually, if I just type link, tab, it ain't working. Link. Okay, fine. Link. Source. Well, let's do this first. Style sheet. There we go. Just take one of those. And we will simply find the location in just a minute. We'll end it, and we'll say from the root. This is going to be the header. Okay, let's actually do this, and then we will change it when it causes a problem and doesn't work. Understand, I know this may not work for and need to be changed. So let's see here. We're inside of the includes folder, so let's go up a level. There we go, assets CSS. And then it should show us, yep, there we go, shows our style folder. And just so we can make sure we know what we're doing, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna put home on the left. And I'll explain why later. And I just want it to say CF form. Let's copy CF form and go to, well, let's just do that for now. Actually, no, let's go to the nav bar. I think it's got, yeah, it's got this in here as well. So we will just say CF form. Notice it's going to the root. However, what I'm building is one level deeper. It's a subfolder, CF_form. That's going to be a problem with some of the links until we fix that. So let's go back here, refresh, and right now it's not in dark mode. So immediately it all changes. You can see the text because it's not in dark mode, but it's hurting my eyes. I'm sorry, I like dark mode. Whatever I do for the client, I will do what they want. White mode, light mode, whatever they want. So we're going to go put this back into dark mode. And I don't have it memorized in my head yet. So what I usually do when I forget is I go to Bootstrap, go right here, type dark mode, and you can see, let me delete. You can see that's one of my last things to look for. I come down here, I find a copy of one of these. That's what it is. I need to memorize that. I just don't have it. In fact, I need to add it as a snippet. I'm always telling you about snippets. So what I'm going to do, I do think of the word dark mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a snippet out of this. Now I'm going to do it as if it was a big snippet. I can do this pretty easily as a small snippet, but let's do it as if it was a big one. What I would normally do is I would look for, and you can see right there, it's one of the things I've searched for several times. VS Code snippet generator. You do the search, and usually the one that shows up is the snippet-generator.app. Click on that, and you simply paste this code in here, and over here you put in what you would type to get this to show up. So if I don't have any other snippets that start with the word dark, as soon as I start getting dark in there, it would start showing up. Add attribute dark for dark mode. That's a description explaining what it is. You can use it for Sublime Text or at the Atom IDE. I just simply hit copy, and then I come back here and I go to the header, and I go to this, I think it was in the head. No, I don't remember which. Oh, whoops, forgot. I got to go create the snippet first. So let's go here. You go to Preferences. Then you come down here to configure user snippets, and then most of them I put in the global. You can put it in the CFC one or the CFML one. If you're doing other languages like PHP, you can do in some of those. The Blade for doing Laravel. But I'll just go right here. I go to the very bottom. I'll make sure I'm down here. I'm down here at the bottom. It's got a comma after this purple. And then I simply create a new one. And I always go ahead and put a comma because it won't break to have the comma. But if you forget with the next piece of code to do it, then it will break. So let's go back to the header. And we're going to say I want everything in this body, in this code. And you know what? I'm trying to remember. I know I can put it almost anywhere, but where is it? See, they put it in the HTML, so I am correct. They put it right there. So let's go back to the header. So I was putting it the right place. So I'll start typing dark and see how it pops up. It says dark mode and it says add attribute for dark mode. That's my description I used. So I can remember. I know that's the one I want. Tab. So now it's got an extra space more than it needed, but that's okay. So now when I go back to our code, once again, I stopped the timer earlier for a minute to get up for something, but let's hit refresh, shift F5 to reload the CSS as well. Automatically everything switched over to dark mode. So it's nice because now even this text is showing up. This shows how many members you've got, topics, and everything. So even if a new member shows up, if we're using HTMX right, we should be able to pull it in. Okay, so we've got each of these built, ready to go. We don't have a login yet. This is for displaying the form because you won't. Depends on how you want your form. Is your form locked down for everybody where they can't even view it? Then you would want to have the login. When they go to create, I'm saying we're going to leave this open so people can come and read. The minute they want to comment or the minute they want to create their own, that's when we want them to have to log in. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. We don't have a button for login, so we will work on that. Of course, if we're doing it only when they get to that situation, that's fine. So now what we kind of need to do is start thinking about how we're going to create the database. There's multiple ways you could go about it. I'm going to put creating the database off to the next one, but let's do some changes to this to make it be ColdFusion and we don't have it saying CF form. But I am going to talk to you a second about what I'm doing here if I click here, it's going to fail. It's going to go straight to the home because it doesn't have the CF form. So let's close all of this for a second and go to application.cfc. Now, there's all kinds of ways you could do this. I just like to do this for something that's not going to change. Now, if you're going to change, you're going to have a development server, a testing server, a staging server, production server. You may want to set this up where it's got a switch case and puts in which case it should be showing. Should it be showing this folder, that folder, or is it going to be in the root? If it's going to be in the root in all those cases, then you don't have a problem. But I've got a problem. So web URL. And so what I'm doing here is I'm putting in not the whole web URL. I'm putting in part of it. I'm putting in, if you hit slash, then I want it to say CF form underscore. I've got to put an underscore. CF form. And I'm leaving the slash on the end off so that when you use the variable this.web URL, you'll be able to see the slash at the end of the variable before you get to the next variable. So from here, then we can copy this, save, and there's other ways to do things like this. I'm just showing you one way. So we want now to go back to the header and see we don't have any links here. It's in the nav bar. Come back here and we simply are going to, now I'm going to put this all in here. Let me highlight and do my prettier first. It's not doing it right now. That's fine. Not too big a hurry, but let's try it one more time before I give up on it. Okay, it doesn't like some of the code in here. That's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to say inside the nav, all of this that's inside the nav should be tabbed in. And then now there's everything that's inside the first div tabbed in. And then everything that's inside this, let's see here. Oh, is it line wrapping? Yeah, it's line wrapping. Okay, span button. So we'll move that over because that's inside of the button. We got the unordered list, so we take the whole list, move that over, and we'll probably change some things, but let's come down here, move that over, move that over. Okay, everything's moved over. The first thing we're going to do is CF output. We're going to go to the bottom and put CF output. Now I want to move everything over again except just one inside. And then if you see these hashtags, because we're going to be inside of an output, I need to change any of the hashes to be double hashes, because the second hash, having two hashes, one escapes the other. So let's do a quick find. This is the only hash, so we're good. We can simply do hash, and now we've got that covered. Now, what we want to do is we want to be able to put that path in. So up here, we want to simply say this.web URL, and I'm going to copy this. I believe that's all you have to do to make that work. Let's actually go find out. Where's it at? Let's see here. Let's close Bootstrap. We'll close the snippet generator for now. We'll hit refresh. We'll click here, which brings us to the CF form, so we're good. Now we want to go check all these others and make all these others go where we're going to want them to go. So for categories, where do I want categories? Do I want, let's see here, where do I want categories? I don't want it really under partials. So what I think I'm going to do is put it under views, and then if I have like an about page or something like that, then I'll make a page. So in here, I'm going to create a folder called categories. I'm going to create another folder in the same location under Views called Members. Okay, so now what we're going to say is we're going to copy this, and we're going to say to get to categories, you go here, Views/categories. So that would bring you to categories. And then we're going to do the same thing for members. And then we're going to say we're going to create an index here. And we're going to have CF include, the template, up a folder. Here, hold on, let's get rid of this extra. It's not going to find it right now for whatever reason. I can hear it doing stuff in the background. Let's just see what we do. Okay, so it's got that. There we go. Okay, so from here we're trying to go up another level because we're trying to go to get to the headers where we're headed. So once we get out of categories, we should be in views. So then we get out one more, and now we should be out, I think, to the root. Since it's not popping up, there it goes, it's popping up now. So we're inside of includes, and inside of includes it should be header.cfm. Hopefully I'm right. If I don't have the right amount, this will not work, but it's okay. We can fix it really easily. So what I want to say is nav bar, and then I'll come down here and we'll make footer. And then we will say this is going to be the members home. And then I'm going to copy all of this, go in here, create another page, index.cfm, paste this in, and this one's going to be categories. Okay, so the categories home page. So now let's go back here. Let's hit refresh. Let's see if it looks like it's going. It kind of does. So it's going to that folder, but it's obviously not going to the index file. Probably some setting I have turned off somewhere. So what we can do is go back to our navigation, and we can simply say, oh, you know what? I wonder. I'm gonna try that before I do what I was about to do. Let's hit refresh, click on categories. Yeah, it didn't. Okay, not a problem. What we'll do for now is we will say index.cfm, and someone will remind me where to go change the settings so I don't have to do that. Anyway, not that it matters. That doesn't really matter. And I'm over the 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop here once I show you this works, and we will work on the next video probably tomorrow. Depends on what I'm doing after work. And of course it's not working. Oh, because I didn't hit refresh. Hit refresh. Do I see index? Yes, I do. However, it's still not going to the right location. View categories. Let's see members. I was thinking maybe I just... Oh, you know what? I know what's wrong. Here I am thinking I got it wrong. I didn't double check these. Let's actually do this. That's probably, I probably got too many links, went down too far or something. Okay, so let's just delete this. Do that. See, it's not popping up like it normally does. Okay, fine. We're in members. We go up one into views, up one into the web root. No, yeah, when we're in views, we got to go up one more. So we go up 2, not 3. So that's the problem. I like it when it pops up for you and helps you, but you don't have to have that. So let's go to members. So when we go to members, we're now seeing the header and the footer, but we're also got a problem with the style sheet, I bet. You know what? I'll stop. The time is way past 15 minutes. So let's go least the categories one real quick. Categories. Okay, let's go click on that once. Refresh. Categories. It's ugly, but we'll be fixing it. And it's actually not getting the header. Oh, there you go, right there. Header. And we'll come back here. Header. And we'll come back here and see categories, members. So we've got that ready to go. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you haven't, and that helps support me, helps me feel better about what I'm doing, that people like it. If I show something that's new that you don't know and you like it, please let me know. And I'm hoping I do ever so often do something you're like, oh, I didn't think of that, or maybe I didn't know that, or as a beginner, maybe you're like, okay, I need to remember how to do that. And if I move too fast because I've not been a beginner in many years, let me know so I can slow down. Obviously, you can slow the video down, speed the video up, whatever you need. But hopefully you liked what I've shown. Thank you.